weird.
It's cool because like I saw like some Don Dokken reunion shit, and it was really bad.
Why would you go to a reunion?
I'm just saying it was bad.
Hey, at least he has like Mark Bowles on bass, man.
Right?
Not only did he play bass for Ted Nugent, he also has a fucking great set of vocal cords. He did 3 albums with Yngwie. Oh, wait, it's rolling. Hi, guys. Welcome to Black Flame Radio.
How is it going this week on this fine, lovely evening
That's how we're going to start. That's how we're going to start.
That's how we start. You just go. You start. You
go.
go and you start.
We're going to just start.
God.
You just started recording in the middle of our discussion about
with
Dawka.
fucking Dawkins.
Yeah, we started with
Don't
We're
be
rocking with Dawkins, fool.
Rocking some Dawkins.
We're going to need a bigger handle of whiskey, as that's all I'm saying.
All right,
You might need it.
So, you have a handle in the freezer.
Go get it.
Yeah, get the fucking thing.
Shut your damn face, mate.
All right. So, this is Black Flame Magazine's Streaming for Vengeance podcast.
Episode 3.
Episode 3, and...
Title pending. The title is very much pending.
I am your host, Gabe Slaughter, joined with me...
Niklas Antichrist.
And...
The Natrix.
As we are here every week, so thank you guys for joining us once again. So, we were talking about EPs earlier.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys' favorite EPs
Why
were.
don't you motherfuckers start?
Well, okay, Nate, you go first. You have the very good EP in mind that I kind of wanted to use for myself, but...
Possibly. There's quite a few. Here's the thing, as someone who's been in electronic music for a bit before jumping ship and boarding the SSS heavy fucking metal...
As you should.
Yes. I am very well accustomed to the concept of an EP, but I realize that in metal it's mostly there's an album, and then there's a single, and then there's tape trading, and all that other shit. But EPs are kind of, I don't know, they're a bit of a rare sight. Well, more prevalent today. That's how, EPs are how I got into some modern bands I like. It's how I discovered Revocation, and I fucking love those guys, but... Oh, shit. Favorite metal EP. Gabe, if you're thinking about the one I'm thinking about, why don't you use it? Because I probably have something different.
I highly doubt I am. Because most of my EP favorites are actually punk rock.
Oh, really?
Alright, then.
Like, I have an original censored English press of Police Bastard by Doom. Where instead of the swastika on the Bobby's hat, he just has the pound symbol.
Now, the music isn't censored, is it?
No, the music is not censored, but it's just the...
Right on.
And you can tell because it's like a literal... Like, they had the swastika on the 7-inch cover, and they cut out... Like... They cut out, like, a circle / pound symbol and pasted it onto these records. It was like... It was like when the Beatles did Yesterday and Today, and they just, like, fucking
They pasted over the whole fucking LP covers.
Also, if you're ever at a record store and you find a Yesterday and Today with the original cover that had the other cover peeled off, if you were charged anything less than $1,200, you are living in a dream world. You fuck. I'm just saying.
Oh, man. So, I think for classic heavy metal EPs, I mean, there's one that's pretty obvious for me, and that's Haunting the Chapel by Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
That one is tied with me with the beginning.
And yeah, in the beginning. I mean,
Those two were excellent EPs.
Yeah.
The thing about the beginning that I liked is that basically after Merciful Fate hit its peak, they were just like, let's release this EP of, like, some tracks that were never mixed down to the album release. And that's kind of why, like, Slayer, when they did Haunting the Chapel, they did the EP like a record.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of...
And they're really good fucking songs.
Such memorable tracks. I mean, you had fucking... Just opening it up with Chemical Warfare is amazing.
Yeah.
And it really had the production that was just in between Hell Awaits and Show No Mercy.
Fuck, yeah.
Because it had more reverb, but it still had that recorded in stagnant piss sound.
Oh yeah. Also, there's a I don't know if you read the liner notes. I don't even know if he's in the liner notes, but there's a very special 5th member, and that is Mr. Gene Hoglan trying to hold the drum set together because there wasn't a carpet during that thing.
Yeah, and they for the first album and Haunting the Chapel, the booth was so small for Dave Lombardo, he couldn't fit his whole drum set in there. So he literally had to record the drum part and then go back, take the hi-hat, all of his crash cymbals and the ride, Jesus Christ, and the ride cymbals and record every cymbal separately. And it's, when you think about it, it's like, that would sound awful. But when it comes to fruition on the album,
It's fucking Slayer, and it's a fucking landmark.
yeah.
Yeah.
Both of those albums or album and EP are great. And I think kind of the shittiness of production really added to that in a way. It was like the first Metallica album. I mean,
Yeah,
Right.
it sounded a little bit, actually quite a bit garbage, but for some reason it had
that's why it was the best Metallica album. They didn't have that, like, Bob Rock fucking asshole production.
Also, it seemed like on a quick tangent, I kind of like James's voice. It was kind of more of that high shrieky stuff on the first album.
It
I
happened.
wish I could hear it underneath all the fucking reverb, though.
When James stopped drinking, his voice went from that raspy shit we all know. Like, I'm not even a big fan of Justice, but I really think his vocals were fantastic on that record.
There's some tight riffs too.
And sometimes it was really just the production.
It's produced like fucking shite.
Yeah. But, like, you hear his vocals on that, and even there are some tracks on the Black Album where I'm like,
I'm a stir of sorrow.
where James just sounds evil as shit. And then he stopped drinking. And
Because he's a pussy and a poser.
he lost all of the that went with his voice and just, like, started to fuck off. So lesson learned, never stop drinking because you will turn into a poser.
How exactly did Lemmy say it? You don't get a hangover if you never stop drinking.
Exactly. You don't get a hangover if you don't stop drinking. Yeah.
Also, his blood literally just became toxic, so he couldn't get a transfusion.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite part of the Lemmy book, where he explains where, like, when he first got diagnosed with diabetes, he went to the doctor and was like, I need a blood transfusion because I'm going to die. And they were like, okay, right on, let's do some blood work. They took his blood, tested it in the lab, and were just like, we tested Keith Richards, we've tested all these rock and roll guys in England. You literally do not have human blood. And he just goes, yeah, all right. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's the most rock and roll thing I've ever heard.
You literally do not have human blood.
It's interesting. We were talking about Motorhead. And they released the St. Valentine's Massacre Day EP with Girl School.
Yeah,
right on.
But I think, did they really release anything resembling an EP? I think the closest I could say is that if you take the original tracks that they recorded for the No Remorse thingy. Like they recorded 4 originals and 4 tracks, motherfucker. That is an EP.
People gave the fucking, like, No Remorse kind of EP, because it came out at, what, like, 70, like, right after Overkill, I think.
No, it came...
Or did it come out later?
It came, I think it was... They recorded the songs when it was Motorhead, what I like to call Motorhead Mark 3.0, which is,
Sorry.
Wow, I just lost my phone. It's with Pete Gill from Saxon on drums, and then Wurzel and Phil Campbell.
Oh, dude, Wurzel is the saddest rock and roll story ever, because he has such little recognition. Because, like, he was in Motorhead, and he was overshadowed by Phil Campbell and the guy from Saxon on drums, or when Filthy Animal came back to Motorhead.
And then when Mickey D came back.
Yeah, like, you're never going to outshine Mickey D, no matter how good of a guitarist you are.
Fuck.
Mickey D might be the most diverse heavy metal drummer there is. He was in...
Man, we get Josh in here, he'd be all over this shit.
Right? We should get him for next week.
He loves Mickey D.
Mickey D was in... He was on Abigail.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
He was in Motorhead for 25 years.
He did a record with Don Dokken.
Fucking Scorpions now.
He's in the Scorpions. I would never shell out that kind of money to see Scorpions, but just now that Mickey D is playing drums, to see Mickey D a second time would be fucking incredible.
Megadeth.
And we were
Mickey D, fuck off.
We were talking about Metallica as we normally do, because terrible.
Well, modern Metallica.
Modern Metallica is terrible.
And I thought that the new album, I listened to bits of it. I haven't bought it, but I listened to bits and pieces. Like, okay, they're getting something back, and then you brought something up.
Oh yeah.
One of our topics for tonight that made me say these fuckers have lost it.
Well, like,
no.
I was really trying to hate the new Metallica record, and I was like, this is gonna suck. Fuck all this. Like, I'm just gonna listen to it to hate it. But there, aside from the production, like the drum sound and just the guitar tone,
The
was
kick
awful.
drum, for
Boring.
example.
So bad.
It
man.
literally was just like someone pounding a fucking sewing needle into your temple.
But like I heard the riffs from the new Metallica album
I
Hardwired,
actually liked Death Magnetic.
and they did
There's
this.
a lot of decent songwriting on that.
Yeah,
album.
and they took like the production of the new album and just remixed the guitar, bass, and drum work to like fit the Kill 'Em All style or the Ride the
I've
Lightning
seen
style, and it fucking sounded amazing.
I think I've even heard one where they did some. They actually emulated some. Actually, one of the things they did is actually emulated the tone from Rust in Peace. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, on air, I will state this. Not only completely sober, but from the bottom of my heart, that is one of my favorite thrash metal guitar tones.
That dude,
That album is the reason that I have the pickups I do in my guitar over
if
What,
the
like-
guitar doesn't just play, it fucking roars.
when I was 13 years old and I was learning how to play the guitar, Rust in Peace was the be all end all of heavy metal guitar playing for me personally.
So, anyways,
there. You got either that
Where were
or
we-
you got, Alex Lifeson, but
so
La
now,
Villa Stranciato.
Rush was in a different
yeah.
universe compared to Mustaine. Like, I learned Mustaine
Still.
to be close to Lifeson.
Right.
that's
It's
so.
like,
Anyway,
Mustaine
And
and kill-
digression
and Rust
over.
in Peace, you
come
know.
on.
But, like, just this other week, like, probably, I would say, what's today? Wednesday? Tuesday? Wednesday?
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
It's a Monday.
So
fuckers.
I would say, like, Friday, Metallica announced to, like, some fake news fucking heavy metal website, like Metal Sucks or one of those, that by 2019 they were going to be doing a Metallica album with
Lady fucking Gaga.
Oh,
God damn
no.
it.
No, come on, guys. You're doing so well.
And I will say that I really like Lady Gaga is a jazz professionally trained vocalist. She's a fantastic, like, her album with Tony Bennett was amazing.
Better than James.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I don't want, like, I think Lady Gaga is a very talented person, and I think she has a lot to offer beyond her, like, T-bone steak and meat suit. Like,
That's the part that I see, and it just makes me go like, okay, I'm not interested. But
she's smart enough to know she's doing it for a gig. So, like, I like Lady Gaga's talent, and I think Lady Gaga is a very talented person. But I don't think her specific brand of singing will go well with Metallica at all.
I mean, after Lulu, can we be surprised at anything?
I would honestly...
well, at least Lou Reed is. I would say that from what I've listened, I like some of the Lou Reed stuff a
Not
little bit
trying
better.
to diss on Lou Reed, but Lulu is a fucking travesty.
I know it's a fucking travesty, but
It's such
but,
a bad album for Metallica
it's
and
really
Lou
bad.
Reed.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
And
I am the table.
it makes me sad because I've been a big Velvet Underground fan from the time I worked in the record store, because we would always get Velvet Underground and Nico and, like, all of Lou Reed's solo albums, and he would be a phenomenal songwriter. And I kind of want to know where that gift went when he decided to tour with Metallica. I feel like
Who was responsible for writing this album?
I would
Fucking
assume
Lars?
I would assume
how, many,
Lars.
how much coke was he doing?
It's gonna be the same thing with Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is not a bad singer. She's a professionally trained
But I don't think
jazz
she's
singer.
a musician. When
She-
you get into the pop industry, most people don't write their own music, do
Yeah.
they?
I'm gonna make a really unpopular opinion right now
Go
and
ahead.
say most people that break out in the pop music scene. This is being a metal elitist until I'm dead, and I will call you a poser if you hate anything that I like. But I think that most pop musicians, Miley Cyrus, fucking Lady Gaga,
Mate, you started on your
Rihanna,
left
whatever,
foot.
the list goes on and on. They're actually geniuses because they know the public will buy anything. And they hone their talent into this really, really big market of pop music. And then Lady Gaga will put out, she was like, Lady Gaga made a career of being Lady Gaga. And then she will put out a album with her and Tony fucking Bennett, an Italian fucking standards pop singer from the 50s. And they will make an incredible album. She really only got to that point because she exploited herself, basically. It's
that takes talent, I guess.
It does. It does. People say like, "Oh, they're just being lame." I'm like, no, like
no, they're being whores and really good ones too.
Yeah,
you can have all sorts of talent and all sorts of genius to you.
Just
but
not
you
just
don't
not
got
musical.
Much integrity if you're going into the pop industry.
If we
you
want
don't
to
got any at all if you're going into something that'll make you successful quick. And
if we want to talk about a lot of talent and no integrity, we could just go for an hour and a half about the Beatles.
You fucking know it, Mike.
I hate the fucking Beatles, man.
I'm just tired of. I'm just tired of that band.
The Beatles' music was fine. It like the early '60s pop was. It was good.
Yeah, like it's old music, and they all had to record
except
their
it was
shit.
now it's overplayed to hell and over worshipped. I'll say this: Queen will in my opinion, Queen curb checks the Beatles because. Not only, like, here's the thing, the Beatles have #1 singles that were written by, like, all 4 of their original members, and their greatest hit, like, John Deacon wrote Another One Bites the Dust, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
It was...
Another One Bites the Dust.
Another one rides the bus. Accordion.
No, Another One Rides the Bus. Chest slap. Anyway...
That short bus.
Oh, there you go. Thanks for explaining the joke, Bojack.
Bojack,
short bus.
You fucking cunt.
Oh yes, that's.
But like my whole thing about the Gabe Slaughter thing about the Beatles is that they, for their famous quote unquote part of their career, they were like peace, love, hippies, LSD, whatever, you know, and then that entire time. John Lennon was beating his fucking wife. Like, good to go for like a fucking peace and love hippie. Boo. You not to the gulag with John Lennon.
I think I'd rather take
It's like we'll just say the Communist Manifesto on air. There you go, Miguel.
Thanks, buddy.
Read those words
Thanks for the
on
suggestion.
air.
John Lennon did not follow the Communist Manifesto that he.
Absolutely.
So here's the thing. I would rather
not.
take someone who writes music that's about death and brutality, but you go to them and it's like, oh, it's a nice guy, over a guy who talks about peace and love and happiness who fucking beats his own wife.
Because
coke.
Because death and brutality, no matter what, that's happening. Like that's unavoidable. Everybody's gonna die and suffer and leave a rotting corpse behind.
Yeah, it's what you do with what you.
So come watch TV.
I kind of want to talk about the album we're listening to currently in the background. I don't know if anybody on air can hear it, but we're listening to.
It's possible that they can't because it's a little far out this time.
We're listening to the Heaven and Hell album by Black Sabbath, the first album with Dio. I personally think the A side of this record is some of the best shit Sabbath ever put out. But we have some dissenting opinions from the Antichrist.
That's why we call him the Antichrist.
You don't want to make me fucking talk about this on air, do you?
Talk about it on air. We need opinions. We need both sides of every argument.
So when it comes to Dio, I'm just not the biggest fan of the lyrics. And for a while, I was not the biggest fan of the vocals. Especially in fucking Sabbath. And the production on this album, I am not impressed with. I think Mob Rules is a lot better.
I really love the production on Mob Rules. But I just think, like, even aside from the production standpoint,
it's like
the songwriting.
This album is kind of in between old Ozzy Sabbath and the Mob Rules.
Well, but that's
in the sense that he's still doing the slow riffs and the bass grooves. And the production kind of kills that because it doesn't sound like old Sabbath did in any way at all.
But it's Dio. You can't compare Ozzy to Dio. They're
comparing
so different.
Tony to Tony right now. I'm not talking about the vocals, just the music.
Well, how much Tony Martin Sabbath have you been jamming? Because they sound very, like, mid to late 80s in tone. And I think Tony Martin Sabbath is some of the strongest Sabbath material, like Seven Star.
Well, you're drifting me
fucking
into
rules.
some stuff I don't fucking know enough about to talk about.
Yeah, that's why I haven't said a goddamn thing.
But I do dig 7 Star. And I dig the shit out of, what's that fucking album called?
Headless Cross?
Yes, Headless fucking Cross.
That album fucking destroys.
That album
everything.
kills.
All right.
And there's so much doomier than the shit done with
Let's get into something
Dio.
Nate will be into. Let's talk about my pants.
Yes.
Irrelevant.
I want to hear. I
Disqualified.
want to hear everybody's opinion on these pants.
Hey man, if you're, yeah. So he's leaving. I gotta say, man, if you're looking to go after the Corthon look,
Oh yeah,
you're certainly hitting it.
good. Okay.
It's certainly you're certainly getting that. I don't know how your balls feel right now.
Oh, they're not comfortable. Very not comfortable. So let
Fucking fire!
that riff was fire. Anyways, I actually bought these pants a few days ago from my ex-girlfriend, if you can believe that. But like, me and her are very cool with each other. Like,
that's
we're friends. Like, that's very rare. I was surprised.
Fist bump for that, man.
Hell yeah.
Then again, I'm a single man, so I don't know what that fucking shit
Shout out to Dana. You have actually been the coolest ex-girlfriend that I've ever had. So, she sold me this pair of pants, and they're like these like spandex leather
Yeah.
with lace on the side. Like, these are very
like if you had this on a girl with a really nice pair of legs and a nice ass, it would be like, oh, your boner would be knocking low flying traffic copters out of the fucking sky.
And unfortunately, she gave them to me. So everything about it is bad. But
Well, now the boners are going into high orbit. Fucker.
oh yeah, boy. But they're like this laced up on the side spandex leather type deal, and I've had a lot of compliments. And I've had a lot of complaints.
Well, take the compliments and tell the complainers that they can go stuff
Well,
up their ass.
My biggest thing was that like people would say like, oh, you're just like try hard to be Corthon. It's like, yeah, no shit.
You see all the pictures he takes with the fucking whiskey handles.
That picture of Corthon of him like spitting out the whiskey of the Jack Daniels bottle with the crop top of his own band, mind you.
you need to work on that.
Yeah, my gut is not great. I drink too much.
No, the
for
real
that.
answer is, what's your fucking Gamora shirt, mate?
I don't wear my own band's t-shirts, dude.
I don't have
You
any of
can't
my own
get that
band's
picture.
t-shirt. I don't think any bands that I've been in or may be in or maybe working towards. I don't even think they sell t-shirts at this point. I mean,
I got patches, though.
You got patches, but these guys I've been working with. I mean, they got stickers and shit. But
Malamortis, eternalmalamortis666@gmail.com.
Oh God.
Nick,
Shameless self-promotion.
Nick, brother, we gotta get a full lineup, and then we gotta start writing some songs first before you start promoting
I
that
might
shit.
got us a bassist. That's beside the point.
We're
right
talking
now.
about business in the middle of this podcast.
Now I have a boner.
Be prepared,
Let's move on.
everybody.
It's possible. That's all. I can't say anything about whether it's gonna happen or not.
So
it's
I
just a possibility. Right?
I posted this thing on Facebook, I think yesterday, that made very many people upset.
I probably missed it. So what'd you say?
I said, okay, I'm very sorry, radio audience, but because I know most people are gonna go against me on this.
Jake E. Lee is greater
Then
than
Randy Rhoads.
and he misspelled Randy's name in the fucking post just to troll people even harder.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna spell Randy Rhoads' name right when he makes the Paranoid solo sound like absolute fucking shite.
He's not supposed to play Paranoid. He's supposed to play Blizzard of Oz.
Yeah, but you're at least supposed to play in key, other than, like, what are you at that point? Kerry King? Fuck off.
Drunken on cocaine, probably.
Yeah, you could. I've been drunk on cocaine and played a solo better than Randy Rhoads
Yeah,
played the
but you
Paranoid
don't
solo.
Play
Oh,
other
jeez.
people's solos much, do you, mate?
I play solos
Why
all
don't
the
you
time.
play your own solo
I
with the
want to
same
see
changes?
you play Paranoid,
Oh.
drunken on cocaine. We'll see you do that with Gamora.
If you guys want a vamp, I'll plug in my amp right now and I will play the fucking Paranoid
You're not
solo.
on cocaine, mate.
I don't have
You're
to be
not
on cocaine.
80s enough
I don't have to be.
or drunk enough. You also don't have your guitar, mate.
So I guess we have conflicting opinions about.
Oh,
who's-
no. I dig Jake E. Lee a lot, too. In fact, I prefer the 2 albums with Jake to the 2 albums
Thank
with
you,
him.
thank you. I actually.
There's a couple songs I prefer with Randy, but the albums as a whole are much better
Yeah,
with Jake.
like Jake E. Lee could never master Mr. Crowley with the tone, but just
well,
for
to be fair, conventionally, Randy's tone was ass. It's all
Oh, yeah,
treble
it's
and
terrible.
mids, and there's no bass. And I dig it because it's so harsh and evil.
Everyone loves the Ozzy Osbourne tribute record where it's just the like live concert of him and Randy.
No, I've got Speak of the Devil in the car. Fuck Live Evil. That
Right?
is my favorite
I've
shit.
listened to the tribute album so many times, and every time Randy Rhoads goes to play a solo, it sounds like fucking ass. Like I know that he has skill. It's the fact that he doesn't apply it that makes me mad. Nate.
Question being is, regardless of this Jakey Lee versus Randy Rhoads debate, I gotta ask, where does Zakk Wylde fit into this equation?
At the bottom.
very fucking bottom.
At the
Fuck
bottom,
Zakk
yeah.
Wylde.
Come on,
I
okay.
fucking hate that
So
guy.
all you people out there,
I would rather have Gus G at the top, honestly, other than Zakk Wylde.
Here's the thing. All those people arguing on the internet over Gabe's post. Regardless of whether or not you like Jakey Lee or Randy Rhoads, can we all agree
That Zakk Wylde sucks.
Indeed.
Wow, I'm not clipping nearly as much tonight as I was last
That
time.
wasn't even a bad of a clip. Like that was.
Well,
pretty
he clipped it
standard.
earlier on.
It's because Nick is always yelling. That's all he does. So I
And when-
influence.
Also, I'm not drunk, so when I get drunk, I get really loud and screechy.
I seriously
like
feel
like
really,
your ex-girlfriend.
I seriously feel really bad that you're not drinking.
Oh man, I don't know, man.
You can have a drink, a single drink.
I'm actually good, man. I need to drink some fucking water.
We have water. I mean, you can have that too. I'm just saying. I feel bad because like I'm an asshole. Just because I'm an asshole. Like I don't want to make everybody else be a sober asshole. Because that's the worst,
Oh man, it's just two different flavors of asshole.
right?
Just whether someone's been eating green beans and someone's been eating corn, it's still shit coming from the asshole.
So if we're talking about Jakey Lee versus Randy Rhoads, I actually got a question earlier in the day from my girl, and she goes, "Who are the best drummers in heavy metal?" And I figured this was worthy to talk about because none of us are drummers.
Well,
Hello.
he is.
Well, I mean,
I am-
The Natrix is in fact a drummer.
Nick is kind of a drummer. Just saying.
Fuck off.
Have you heard the stuff I've actually
Yeah,
played
dude, I know. I'm just giving you shit, but like, to the three of us, who are the three best heavy metal drummers?
Oh shit.
I don't know. I'm
This is-
gonna go ahead and put Bill Ward,
Okay, like let's say speed metal drummers, because everyone knows like
Mickey D.
Mickey D. Okay, that's a good.
Phil
That's
Taylor.
actually a really good.
Phil Taylor, no shit.
Filthy Animal.
Rest in peace, brother.
It sucks.
Nick Menza, maybe if we
Well,
want to talk
I
about the dead.
hate this question because in terms of skill, I have one train of thought, but in terms of true metal, I have another train of
Well,
thought.
there's so many different things. It's like you can fit the groove, you can fit the time, you can be a fucking badass player.
Right.
You could, but you know, there's so many different questions, and also just across so many different genres. I'll say that as much as I'm sort of a thrasher at heart, I like a lot of death metal drummers.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, granted,
Oh my god, that fucking sound everyone in Nile was slaying that night.
That's what I was gonna say. I
oh
like
yeah, George
Coleus.
Colias.
Fuck.
Is it Colias or Coleus? I have a friend.
I say Coleus, but
I
that's
have
because
a-
I'm Italian.
I've always said Colias.
Here's the
What?
thing: is that I have a friend whose last name is basically like George's last name, except it's spelled with one L instead of two. So for George, I say George Colias, and then for my friend, his name is DJ Coleus, and he is actually a guy who likes death metal. By the way, DJ, and also Ray, Marshall, Adam, and Nolan, if you fuckers are listening to this, I hope life is going well, because it's going pretty well over here.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, and those are my friends. But other death metal drummers, I mean, I'm a bit of a Revocation fanboy, so I like Phil the Boy. I don't know who this Ash Pearson fucker is.
I actually, I felt kind of weird at one
If we
time.
want to talk about amount of bands somebody's in and go a little underground, Ash Thomas kicks ass.
Indeed, yeah.
That's
Faith Extractor, Shed the
that's-
Skin, Crucified Mortals.
Talk about it.
Ash
Well, I
Pearson. Is
don't-
that Ash who?
Ash Thomas from Cleveland.
Okay, no, I'm talking about Ash Pearson, who used to work for Drumeo and played in 3 Inches of Blood, and now he plays in Revocation.
He's in all sorts of fucking bands, Ash
If,
Thomas.
if you guys want to talk about
I don't know enough to talk about him at length.
if you guys want to talk about unexpected bands, So a little bit of background for the podcast listeners. I work at an Einstein Bagels in Arvada, Colorado.
Yes. I used to work at one in Seattle, and because school's taken over my life.
It's terrible, right?
Actually, I enjoy my job. That's because I'm not... Because I'm...
Lucky. God damn it.
I wasn't the kosher store, so I got to work with a lot of
I love my unemployment right now.
I've also been there for like 3 years, so I'm sure it's different.
I've been there for 2.
Dude, you have no idea how much I grew to hate my last
So,
job
like,
over the last 3 years.
The one thing I do love about my job at Einstein Bagels is that my boss, a lot of the time I've worked there has not cared about what we play in the store. So I found this satellite radio station.
With the hair metal station, right?
It wasn't even hair. It was like...
Oh, you're talking about satellite radio.
It was like Priest, Maiden, Motorhead, Thin Lizzy,
What kind
UFO.
of satellite are you guys using?
I don't fucking know.
'Cause I know on Sirius XM there's the Ozzy's Boneyard. And there's a few
it might
other
have been
stations
that.
like that.
Alright.
I don't know what you're
Man,
using.
that's the one thing I couldn't do at my store, man.
All I know is that one day my big boss, like the area manager, whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
came in,
Fuck off.
and it was Thin Lizzy, Maiden, Priest, like just heavy metal standards, basically. And he confronted my boss and said, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh.
And then she goes,
Boo.
"Talk to Gabe." And then my area manager, like, got all up in my shit, like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, I've literally never gotten more compliments on this radio station than I have on any other thing. Because people be like, dude, I haven't listened to Iron Maiden since, like, 85. And I'm like,
Fuck yeah.
I was like, that's awesome. Also, you're a poser, but that's awesome. Like, you should have been listening to this the whole time.
It's like, the thing is, nobody cares what they're hearing unless it's fucking rock and roll when you go out.
Right? Even still,
It's like,
like
nobody comments on how great the fucking top 40 radio station you're playing is at the mall or something.
even like
They don't care. They just tune it the fuck out.
Yeah.
even like this last week, we chose a new radio station because I got banned from picking the shit.
You poor bastard.
I know, but Man on the Silver Mountain by Rainbow still plays,
Yeah.
and I've gotten compliments on that shit, and they'll be like, "Man on the Silver Mountain, dude, Dio was in Rainbow. It was fucking fantastic. You ever see Dio like in his doo-wop band?" And I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
it
worked
was
at a record store.
terrible.
Yeah, it was whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny to see people coming in and get food and then like freak the fuck out about
Dude,
Rainbow.
I love how rock and roll it is still in that fucking place.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the place I worked
I've
at.
never been to another Einstein's, but I love yours.
Yeah.
Mine is shit. Actually, mine is good compared to the other ones. The other ones are shit.
Nice. So the thing about the one I worked at is that, you know, we didn't have a metal station that we were allowed to play because they started tuning out. They tried to kill the classic rock station and they failed. And we, like, you know how you got compliments? We got a lot more compliments on the classic rock station, and just people dug the shit out of it.
We get that too.
But only when I was working the shift, because it was only like me and like maybe 3 or 4 other people who actually like that kind of music. The other ones are just fucking, yeah. By the way, if you're at that Einstein's down in University Village and you don't like you didn't like the classic rock station when I played it, here's a metal fingle, fingle yourself and go fuck off.
Fingal.
But the thing is that I was working with metalheads. I was
Indeed.
our back guy. He loved metal. We had 2 shift leaders, one of which became an assistant manager who fucking loved metal.
Tight.
And one of my coworkers, Summer, actually took me to see Napalm Death in the Melvins, where I got
Tight.
during their little Imperial March tour, where they had
That's
Melt
a very
Banana as the
odd
opener.
sounding tour, though.
It was great though, because it was like the first. That's where I learned how to mosh in about 20 seconds after Napalm Death started.
The first time I ever moshed was I was at the American Carnage tour, and it was Slayer, Megadeth, and Testament. And it was when Slayer was like still with Hanneman, so it was cool
Yeah,
for me.
that is 1,000 layers of fuck off.
You just jealous, mate.
No shit, he's fucking dead, mate.
Yeah, he's dead as disco. But like, I saw Slayer with Hanneman, And I was on the the very side of the stage the whole time. So like I was on the rail basically.
I
And
that rail.
I remember when Slayer went, or no, it was for Slayer, Death Angel, some shitty band left the stage.
Shitty band, Death Angel?
Death Angel rules. I love them. I'm just saying, like, I can't remember the band that opened for Megadeth.
Alright, mate.
But, like, I remember waiting for Megadeth to come on, and I was on the farthest side edge of the Megadeth show. And me and my buddy, we were like fucking air guitaring and freaking out.
Right.
And we just see Dave Mustaine warming up by the side of the stage, like just noodling around, fucking whatever. And he was just like, okay, gotta get on stage, whatever, this is gonna be a thing. And I yelled to him across the rail, and I'm like, Dave, you fucking rule! And for all the shitty things Dave Mustaine has ever done, he actually like came over to me and my buddy, and he goes, you guys excited? And I'm like, yeah, right. And he's like, hope you enjoy the show. And he just high fives the both of us. I was just like,
that's so cool.
that was amazing.
That's legit. I got the feels in here, man.
Like, I hate Dave Mustaine, but that moment was the coolest thing I've ever gone through in my life.
God.
Better than
And
what
I've
I
heard
met
a
Anthrax.
lot of shit stories about Dave.
You want a shit story? Talk to me about Anthrax.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Who
So,
was it that fucked with you?
Scott fucking Ian.
What happened?
I know. It sucked. I was so
He
mad.
seems like such a nice guy, though.
Right, that's what I was saying. I was like, man, Scott Ian's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna grab an autograph and like bail. I don't want to like.
It wasn't
Take
it kind of
his
the
side.
thing. It's like he seemed a little bit. I think we talked about Municipal Waste or Iron Reagan one time. So in this case, he went from Tony Force to the landfill.
Right. Yeah.
I remember that from the last time.
And like, I saw Scott Ian. He had just finished sound check,
Oh, God.
and he had his own bus. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stand outside of Scott Ian's bus to have him sign like my vest and go away. Like what? I don't want to like bother him with too much.
Yeah, right on.
Well, don't
There-
they right before the sound after the sound check, they're getting ready to play.
They had like 4 hours in between sound check and.
Great. So this wasn't just like the last minute.
Yeah, like that's what my whole thing was. It was like, oh man, maybe he has a lot of time, and then I looked at my watch and I was like, no,
Boo.
they have
Not
way
cool.
too much time. And I waited in line because I'm like, I want Scott Ian to sign my vest, and then I'll take a picture and get out of there like really quick. He would not take anyone into his fucking bus. The only person he gave access to was this like 8-year-old kid who had a Squire, and the security guard came out from the bus and was like, I will take your guitar and get it signed, but you do not get to meet him.
Boo.
That's it. Like, he will sign your guitar and he will not talk to you.
Fuck that shit. Let's talk about Melee from Creator.
Oh yeah, Melee from Creator.
Oh
Dude,
shit! I need to buy my ticket.
not same, dude. Tomorrow fucking night.
Yeah.
I have nothing for this show, but Melee is one of the coolest guys I've ever met in my life.
Tequila, mate. Tequila.
I went the last time Creator went through Denver. I got so drunk that I kind of forgot what was going on. I ended up getting my nose broken and my jaw knocked out of alignment because I tried to fight this guy for whatever reason. Like, I would never fight a person.
But then you got drunk.
But then I did, yeah, and it was like a whole thing.
Hey man, shit happens.
And, so I basically came to, at the end of the show, with my nose broken and my jaw just fucked out of place. And I see Melee in the parking lot, and I just run up to him covered in blood and just like, I'm just fucked up. And I go like, Melee, you're like the best guitar player in thrash. And he goes, do you want to take a picture? And I was like, yeah, I want to take a picture, dude. Like, and I just like, headlock this motherfucker. I headlock Melee.
With a broken nose and blood all over.
And
your
I'm doing
face.
like the point in the gun thing, and like,
I wonder if he'll recognize you this time.
Oh God, no! I hope he doesn't.
Hey man, if you
That
want,
would just be disgusting.
we could break your nose again. Hopefully, you'll see.
Yes, so mate, we'll do it.
I mean,
Fucker, I could probably do it. I do.
he's
have,
got the gloves. He really.
yeah,
he's
and
like,
also
more
learn the
equipped.
technique.
I don't
You
mind
don't try to
blood
punch
on
him
my
like
eyes.
this.
No, you go like up.
Whack.
Yeah.
You give him. So I have another fun drunken story.
Right on.
Since we talk about drunken stories. So this was I don't know if I actually talked about this on a podcast before. It was a show at Bar.
Tight.
Oh God.
It's this story. You guys might have heard it.
Was
but-
it the one where you fell asleep?
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So this is what happened. I go to a show at Bar. It's a $5 cover because Tony Vaccaro, you're the fucking man. So the first band, who just is this sort of goth metal band, and I am underwhelmed. So when I'm underwhelmed, I start drinking.
Well, you know that's why I didn't go to that show, mate.
Well, here's the thing: is that I get so drunk that about halfway through 6 Feet of Anger, I just laid down on a booth and I'm fucking.
You know,
God.
I played with 6 Feet of Anger once. I forget.
I slept all the way through Carnivorous Greed. Thankfully, Frank was at the Black Sky the next day, and I got a ticket to another show there so I could see what I missed. So here's the fun thing, and this is the part where it gets really funny. I start coming to, and it was like, where are you going?
I'm gonna go smoke. Sorry.
You know, I
Right.
kind of wanted to do that too, mate.
Oh,
We should have taken a fucking hiatus then. Alright, continue the story.
So basically what happens is I start coming to, and I feel like there's something like weighing down on my chest.
And it's a guitar.
It is a guitar. The guitarist from the headlining band, a melodic death metal band called When Darkness Falls, had broken a string early in the set, so he decided just to put his guitar on my unconscious body. And also, like, wedge the set list underneath my feet. And people took pictures of it, because that's what you do in the age of the cell phone. When someone does something really fucking stupid, you get to take pictures of it because they're just fucking dumb.
So it seems, huh? I've been avoiding that till now.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen eventually, but I've been trying to
Yeah.
avoid it.
There's a follow-up story, but it's not really done yet. There's a follow-up story to this one, and we're not really. And I just don't. It's not done yet.
We're on the same table.
Damn.
Jesus Christ, mate.
Okay, so let's do something simple.
So what can we go to from the dumb cell phone pictures category?
What have we been listening to this week? That, on your case, that isn't Merciful Fate, and in my case, that isn't Motorhead.
I don't know, Rush. Let's see. Got some Rush, some Priest. I was listening to Load, actually. Dig it. I don't fucking care.
It just kind of is.
It's not great for Metallica, but it's alright for a rock album.
Yeah, it's a rock album, not a metal album. Well, I think I mentioned Revocation before. I've been listening to them a lot.
And actually, I listened to a new album on YouTube today from Satan's Hallow. It's traditional heavy metal.
Sounds like it. Another band that I've been listening to is I think I plugged these guys pretty hard on my Facebook page. Is this band called Zoth? They're from Seattle. I'm friends with some of the guys in that band, and I was just like, dude, if you're looking for like melodic death metal with like cosmic horror themes and really fucking like cholera catchy riffage,
Nice.
those guys got it fucking nailed down. And also, I heard Woody say that he might that the band's planning a tour in the fall,
Right on, I saw
and they might
this.
come to Denver. Woody, if you're listening to this fucking podcast, man, get a show here in Denver.
Let's fucking tag him when you share that then. That'll help us, eh?
All right, it's called whoring ourselves out. What else I've been listening to?
Either way, and ain't nobody listening yet. Whoring ourselves out this early don't make much of a difference.
Or maybe it makes all the difference. Who fucking knows?
Don't seem to make much of a difference yet. If it makes all the difference, we'll fucking see later on.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about
pouring the fucking podcast out.
and also music we've been listening to this week.
Oh.
In this case, anything that he's been listening to that ain't Merciful Fate, and anything I've been listening to that ain't Motorhead.
And anything you've been listening to that is rock and roll
Is Sabotage.
and not Sabotage.
So so I've been going through a streak lately where I've been listening to not metal.
Boo.
Yeah, like I know.
Disqualified.
Nick hates this shit.
Okay, well, okay.
I hate
But before,
some of it,
shut
Mike.
up. Before you start making a value judgment, what have you been listening to?
So you're gonna hate me too, but I've been listening to Drake, The Weeknd. I've been listening to Usher. Yeah, okay, I know. Everybody facepalm at once.
Oh my
Okay,
god!
we
Even
need
when I
to
don't
get,
listen
like,
to music,
a fucking time stamp sort of button we can put in that just goes,
Leave the hall.
"You're a fucking poser!
Leave the hall.
Leave the hall.
If you're not into metal, you're
You're
not
not
my
my friend."
friend.
heavy metal.
And
If your friends don't dance, they're no friends of mine.
well, I
It
don't
is safe to dance.
I don't dance. I just listen to shitty music. Honestly,
Dude, when I stop listening, I don't listen to metal. It's usually I'm listening to like electronic, cyberpunk type shit, or I'm listening to like the funk music I have. So Tower of Power, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh, I'm very into funk, dude. Earth, Wind, and
If-
Fire
if-
fucking kill.
If I'm not jamming and dicking around on metal on my kit, I'm usually playing funk beats.
Tight.
Well, did you hear that I think it was a couple months ago, or maybe a few weeks ago, two of the members of Tower of Power actually got hit by a train, including David Garibaldi.
I heard about that. Yeah.
And they, looks like they survived, though.
Oh,
That's
that's.
what
I mean, that's good. I want.
It was at a station, Nick. I mean,
Damn.
it's not like they're going 60 miles an hour, because that's instant death. That is, like, screaming
Well,
dance
you
on
didn't
train tracks.
explain
You're
that
fucking
first.
dead.
Dirt.
You're fucking dead.
Dirt. Everyone's dying. Right on.
They're gonna die eventually anyway, but that's not the fucking point right now.
No, everyone's gonna die.
So why don't you live right now?
Yeah.
And party.
Potty?
Party hard.
Party or
Party hard.
you said potty. Like I feel like
Party hard.
I feel like you're
It's-
taking a piss in a shit real hardcore right now.
Party hard then, mate.
Party. You have to have that R in there.
Party hard.
Party hot.
Party hard, matey.
It's the German way.
Oh, I just want fucking pirate there.
Says the Italian guy, mate.
Hey, hey.
my-
At one point they were on the same side, right?
Hey, yeah, like my fascist leader was hung, and then we joined the Allies. So like, I'm good with it.
So by that
We just
logic-
wanted to eat food. That's all we
Traitors.
want.
You fucking traitors.
I don't even know what my heritage is, man. Fuck it.
All we did was like, this is not cool. Where do we eat the most food? Oh, on the Allies side. Done. Like, let's do that.
Well, the thing is that he's like speaking to the German while he's Italian, but you know, if part of that collaboration. Thank God he's not a weeaboo.
You say what, mate?
Don't say that to Nick.
You say what, mate?
He's a weeb.
At least he's, you know, he might be speaking German as an Italian, but at least he's not a weeb.
Hey,
Boo.
I've been
We're gonna retire the show and I'm gonna watch some fucking anime.
Antichrist. Is
I
out.
don't have. If you just like watching anime, that's one thing. I just like the people who are fucking like insane.
You fucking baka.
He called you an idiot in Japanese. What? That's right. Like, yeah, baka. Wait, Nick, is baka idiot in Japanese?
Yeah, it is idiot.
Yes, it is.
That's a rough translation. I watch enough anime myself that I know, and I've watched all the wrong anime. That's why I haven't been watching it as of late. The only one I've been watching really.
Content sensitive.
What the fuck have you watched anyway?
Lots and lots of anime.
Like what kind of stuff? Also, what the fuck is this?
Mostly drama and fantasy, and
Like what?
since we finished the Heaven and Hell, we are now listening to Insomnia.
We have 10 minutes left in this podcast.
We don't have to set any time limit at all.
I just
We
don't.
want
I
to.
don't want to end on everyone hating each other because of
Fuck
anime.
you! Fuck
Fuck
you!
you.
Fuck you!
Fuck you! Fuck
You.
you! Fuck.
You! Fuck off! Fuck off! I'm out.
It just been
So-
like fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! You guys on the microphone, you're cool. Fuck. No.
So this has been the Gabe Slaughter NPR session of Black Flame Radio. Thank you guys again, once again, for listening. Like we are just in here in NPR with the Black Flame Radio podcast. Exactly. Yeah. It's been amazing.
Let's talk about something that brings us together to end this fucking episode.
Right.
Let's all direct our hatred at something we can all agree needs to be hated on.
So I don't know what Nick is listening to right now, but all I know is the drums sound awful. There's like an over amount of triggers. I'm not a big trigger guy, but I know that if they're used right, they work well. But if they're used wrong, it is very bad.
I mean, granted, I can accept the fact that in like when you're going like really really fast, like if you're Dave McGraw and you're in Cadillac Cap, those are the only things that are going to save your arms and legs on tour.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I learned a trick from this guy. His name's Glenn Fricker. He runs Spectre Sound Studios. It's a YouTube channel.
Right on.
And he said that you can actually use a trigger to control the gate instead of triggering a sample. It's a basically more accurate way of gating the drums to make sure that they're more...
That's actually not a bad idea. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yes, if you just get one for the snare, then things will be good, but... If you're playing like metalcore and you have like triggered drums because your drummer's a fucking bitch and he doesn't know how to hit a drum like a finely tuned ass, what the fuck are you doing? Huh?
I do.
What are you doing, punk?
I want to touch on one more.
Oh, not?
We were
one more topic that we were we didn't plan on this, but I saw it today and I thought it deserved recognition.
Which topic?
So, the guitar player of Stryper.
Oh, God,
Which one?
What? Is this even worth talking about?
It's too funny to not talk about.
Which
But
one?
everybody's been over this since the fucking Zodiac Killer Muse last year.
So, I saw today a resurgence of a meme that basically ran around saying one of the old rhythm guitar...
Michael fucking Sweet, right?
Michael Sweet of Stryper
is secretly...
Ted Cruz.
Fuck off.
Because they look exactly the same.
Show it the fucking picture,
Can Ted
right?
Cruz shred? I don't think so.
I don't think he can, but if he did, he would have been in Stryper. So now,
I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to guess that Michael Sweet's probably a better Christian than Ted Cruz.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Depends on how you define Christian.
I really don't want to hang out with either. That's the bad problem because I really want to knock this shit out of the park. I want to know, is Ted Cruz the guitar player of Stryper?
Or is he
obviously
the Zodiac Killer?
Not.
Yeah. He's either the Zodiac Killer, a lame asshole, or he's the guitar player.
He looks
Stryper.
like he's too out of shape.
Asshole.
Ted Cruz looks too out of shape to get into those fucking that outfit.
Oh yeah, he looks fat.
That's right.
Hey,
That's
fuck
right,
off.
Ted Cruz. You're fat. Fuck you.
Fuck off, mates.
I'm not saying it's you. I'm saying it's Ted fucking Cruz.
Stop masturbating with your belly.
I can't. I'm literally hitting bone right now.
Drum
Drum
on your knees. It's tight enough. It might as well be a drum head.
Same as with your fucking Motorhead tattoo, mate.
My Motorhead tattoo is amazing.
How did your bones feel?
My bones felt terrible. I wanted to die for a majority of that tattoo. Thank you, Jessica, for fucking making that bearable by being the coolest tattoo artist ever.
Yeah. Man, this was a weird podcast. But I like it. This is weird and
We don't have any real fucking topics this week, have we?
I mean,
Oh no,
if
we're just bullshitting.
if it's a slow news week, then we just fucking ramble.
At least we ain't fake news like fucking metal sucks or metal art. Fucking
Metal injection.
metal injection.
Metal injection.
Fox News.
Well, that's
Bill
not,
O'Reilly.
that's not the point here, mate. We ain't nothing like that anyway.
Thank
Unless
God.
you want to get political.
We've done that. We've done that. We've done that on the last two. Besides, okay, I will tell you. I will have a bit of a rant.
Go for it.
And that is on something I'm doing. Like, I like writing music that occasionally, it's not necessarily political, but just throwing rage and frustration at groups that are fucking acting dumb.
Fam.
Yeah. So, the problem is that I personally don't like music with a bit of a political message. It's like, okay, I can dig it, but usually I just dig it for the musical qualities.
Mostly.
I usually, now here's the problem, is that I'm a student. I'm a student at a jazz, well, a school with a jazz program, and as one of my classes, I got the impression that this group would bring in whatever material we wanted, and then we had a qualifier, protest songs, and they said you should bring in one. I'm like, are you fucking insane? This is a vocal jazz combo, and you're talking to the guy who wanders around wearing Motorhead t-shirts and bandanas all the fucking time. My idea of a protest song falls somewhere between Dead Kennedys and Napalm Death, and usually goes higher than Napalm
To be
Death.
fair, Gabe, would
Yeah.
you be alright with picking some Woody Guthrie?
Any machine that kills fascists is
Exactly.
highly recommended on my watch.
So we're alright with some protest songs.
Here's the problem is
But Dead Kennedys is just as cool as well.
I actually, when I worked at Black and Red, the record store, down a couple blocks from here, it was like an indie record store, and Jello from Dead Kennedys,
Fuck yeah.
he would come in. He lived in Aspen because he's an asshole, but like,
that's where they all live.
oh yeah,
The
yeah.
assholes live in Aspen.
Everybody in
they're
Aspen's
starting
a
to
piece
show
of
up
shit.
here, aren't they?
Yeah, it sucks.
But that's not the point.
But it was like,
Also, or they live in Colorado Springs and they're called evangelists.
oh god.
Yeah, but that's not the same kind of asshole.
I remember I got my car broken into in Colorado Springs when I went to go see Vatan, and that was like the worst black metal experience of my life.
Anyway, keep.
Oh yeah,
Talk about
well, Jello came into the record store I worked at one night, and he was literally just in there to buy punk rock records, and it was cool. And I rang him out, and I was like, "Oh, dude, you're Jello, like from Dead Kennedys." And he was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, I'm Jello. Like you want to talk about stuff?" And he was like in his whole Jello mode.
He just turned the switch.
Like as crazy as Jello is on stage, that's what he's like in person.
Ah.
So I was like trying to start a conversation, and I was just like, I have a really good what album is it? The Frankenchrist. I have a Franken Antichrist.
You are the Franken Antichrist.
Or Frankenchrist album at home. I was like, I have the Frankenchrist album. It's not an original, but would you be willing to sign it if I brought it in like the next 2 minutes? Because I lived literally like down the street from this record store. And he goes, I will never sign that because
it's a reissue. Shit.
It's a
They're stealing from me.
it's a reissue, and that record label stole from me. So if you find an original, great. If you don't, I don't care. And I was like, oh.
Whatever.
So
So,
like,
this whole
kind of
thing.
asshole.
I talked to him after that, and he's like a really good dude. He has a lot of good morals. Like everything that he says is pretty good from a moral standpoint.
Him and Henry Rollins are really cool fucking dudes, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're both great. It's just like when you talk to them and they're like, "Will you sign this?" and they're like, "No." This is like
It's
defeating.
really funny that you should talk about Dead Kennedys when I mention them about protest songs and things I don't agree with, because you know the song MTV Get Off the Air?
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about rewriting the lyrics and calling it SJW Get Off the Internet. Now here's the thing though, is that I was specifically told we were going to be doing protest songs for this fucking school project, and literally the teacher tells the vocalists for this we did a version of For What It's Worth, which is a classic protest song.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it as like a funk, like a hip hop thing.
Like
So-
Buffalo Springfield, for what it's worth, right?
yeah.
Okay, good.
So basically, she did the arrangement. Our teacher wrote us an arrangement. It was kind of more hip hoppy. There was a rap section, and she literally just tells the vocalist, "I want social justice themes," and that's when my brain just goes, "Oh, what?"
Have you heard that fucking song? That's all it was in 1967. Like,
Right?
that's the shit I don't get about that, is like everyone wants like social justice shit, as long as it's social justice shit from like the hippie era. It's like that shit don't work no more, man.
Yeah.
That's not the way you make this shit work.
Here's the thing: is that
where I draw the line between someone who's like trying to affect some change and like a social justice warrior is not necessarily the ideology, but the extremity of the ideology and the tactics.
Oh yeah, it's like I've said multiple times. Every
good idea has been ruined.
About Antifa.
Third time's the charm, bitches. Good ideas have been ruined by everyone.
By people. That's the reason.
Ideas had the right idea. He was just an underachiever.
Okay, why
That's
why
what
you
all
gotta
these.
take it to that place?
That's what all these. You know,
No, it's
you know
Phil
really,
Hicks, you fucking poser.
That's what all these SJWs are. They're just underachievers.
I mean, it's just like it's people with good ideas
it's like
who
feminism.
take it way too far.
It's like equality for all. Yay!
Awesome.
Killing men. No.
Oh, yeah, like
I like my balls. Thank you very much. Come and take it. And I'm cupping myself.
come and take.
Come and just
What is
punch
that?
down the door with balls and fists and prepare to lay down the fucking law.
Just literally, your balls are a weapon at that point. Just, whap, whap, just fucking pow.
Jesus Christ, Mike.
Well, the thing is that with that it's just like, well, here's the thing. Like I said, you don't pretend to claim for free speech by infringing on other people.
Exactly.
Also,
yeah, exactly.
one thing that applies to both sides is that free speech protects people, not ideas. It doesn't protect. It doesn't mean you're immune to criticism just because you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Free speech means like if Richard Spencer gets punched in the fucking face,
Fuck yeah.
that is free speech in movement. Like that's all it is.
It's also potentially a felony charge, but
I mean, it is, but
I mean, it's incredibly satisfying if it's worth going to jail for. I mean, more power.
it
to
is
you.
on one side and it is on the other. You know, like I actually saw this Facebook group. We're getting political, so I'm sorry, but anyways,
Whatever.
I saw this political group on Facebook just today, like on my way home from work, called the Redneck Revolt. And on first glance, it's all these like rednecks and beards with guns and and I was like, oh god, this is gonna be terrible. But like their whole stance is that we are community defense for refugees. We're community defense for Jews and Muslims, queer, gay, trans, anything the fuck you are. If the state is fucking with you, we will destroy the state. And I was like, hell yes.
Wow.
Like that was perfect. And
That's
they were
nice.
And they were called the Redneck Revolt. So I was really thinking that they were going to be like this
Like neo-Nazi,
right wing craziness.
white supremacy.
Oh yeah.
I think that's probably part of the gist is that you think that we're Nazis, but we fucking are not.
Oh yeah, I mean like the names of what people call themselves really have a big play into what people think about them.
Yeah, I mean that's
It's like
that's
if we're
kind of
fucking
cool.
talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
doesn't call himself an atheist. And it makes the whole fucking community weaker for it.
But if you listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson,
He so does not believe in God.
he hates God. He fucking despises that shit.
Like-
He
It's like
just,
the great thing about science is it's true whether you believe it or fucking not.
exactly.
What's that quote? It's that reality is that which, when you stop believing in it, doesn't go away.
Right.
I think
Exactly.
I think that
Fuck
was.
yeah.
I think that might have been.
That was that Russian guy. Fuck, I know.
Isaac Asimov. Was that, or
I
was it
think so.
was it Arthur C. Clarke? It was at the beginning of Soma. Which
I
was,
thought it was Asimov. I could be wrong.
One
I
of
totally.
those two.
If I'm wrong, please correct me in
But
the
anyway,
comments.
Anyway, just reeling it back to what I was complaining about is that, like, I love writing music. Occasionally, I love writing music that's essentially extensive. Is that I don't try to like engage in political discourse or be intellectual. My version of protest is literally a song that is 31 flavors of "Go fuck yourself."
Right.
I literally
Right.
I've written songs called being pissed at everything. Like this little grindcore thing I've written.
Fuck
I've written
yeah.
lyrics about how Tumblr can suck a dick. I wrote a song called "The Professionally Offended" the other day. It's and I wrote a song about fucking a song called "Flailing Retards," which was about seeing kids. Also, the aforementioned SJW get off the internet.
And it's not even like a thing about people being lame. It's just the mediums that people use to be lame. You got like 4chan or fucking all that other internet crap that people fucking use to like. they take a good message of like gender equality and like
and
happiness and love.
Let's all get together and have a good time, and then suddenly it turns into a victimization.
And they literally just shit on that. That's all.
It's literally just. I mean, I don't. It's like it just turns into a fucking just throwing. It's everyone's trying. I don't like it that everyone's trying to play victim.
Yeah, right. It's like.
Does anyone in the metal community ever play a victim to anyone?
Never.
No.
Cause I'm a comrade.
Well,
Not even that. It's just because we don't give. It's clannish bullshit, and we like it that way.
I'm a very big supporter of the punk scene. Like, I love punk rock, but every time I ever go and I'm like, I want to go to this punk rock show, it's literally just 50 punk rock dudes bitching about the punk rock guys that are playing in the band and the punk rock guys in the crowd. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. Like, if I'm going to be involved in a music scene, I like diverse ideas. The fact that I can be like I hate it, but the fact that I can talk to a Nazi and talk to a comrade and then talk to a Merciful Fate diehard fan, like all those three things together, even though it sucks to have to deal with,
It's fascinating.
all of those three things together kind of make it like it's so much easier. Like you can start a conversation and hate it, but it will still be a conversation.
That'll happen anyway, huh?
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Fucking Tick. One of them shows I went to at Bar.
Oh God! Don't worry about
Sorry,
it.
mates.
Don't worry about it.
Rest in peace, headphone users.
We will cut that shit the fuck out.
I will not. That's staying in.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay,
bro.
we won't then. Thing is, I was talking with Derek and Tick.
Which dude?
The dude who hangs with Tick. The old dude with the beard and shit you was talking to at Bar when I was there last
God, there's
time.
like 3 Derek's now.
Derek Webster. You know, that dude. You know the dude I'm talking about, right?
Whatever. To the microphone.
Anywho, the two of them, one of those shows I went to a few months ago, they were getting into a spat with some fucking Nazis.
Oh God! Fuck
Exactly.
Like
they were
real-
this
like real-
fucking close to fighting these fucking white supremacist
I've been
Nazi
there.
cunts.
I've been there.
Whoa. That's what I've heard of.
And
Those
I
guys
would have
love it.
helped with them too, but they didn't get into a fight or not. Tick and the fucking Nazi fucks managed to handle it well enough that there wasn't any violence that night.
That's
Good.
nice.
That's
So, you know,
that's a good
I don't
thing.
dig conversation with them. I'd rather beat their asses if I have the opportunity.
Right.
Especially if I've been drinking.
Oh yeah.
But at least, are you gonna wait till you've been provoked, or at least until someone starts throwing punches?
Punching.
Most of the time, I will say, but punching Nazis is still a good thing anyway.
Yeah, like
Especially if they give you a
espe-
reason to.
And if you're not the guy that punches a Nazi, you're just like, fuck yeah, like
Yeah.
beat that shit. out of
Remember from
motherfucker.
last time. Go for the dick. The face is on.
Yeah,
It might be a
Whack.
sharpshooter target.
it's not like
but-
Richard Spencer is really losing anything from being punched in the face. It's just
Right.
it's a potato being hit with a potato.
They're more winning from us.
That's,
Because
that's what I had. That's not what I had for lunch, man. I had a big potato. I had Richard Spencer's balls on my plate.
Oh, good.
That's why no one wants to punch
my.
him in the balls, because there's nothing left.
That's why we're podcast mates, mate.
Yeah, that's reminds me of an old joke about this guy going to see some the bull fights. One year he goes in, he watches the fight, and the bull gets his ass handed to him, and bull ends up getting killed.
Yeah.
Goes to a restaurant later that evening and gets the special. The waiter comes out, it's like, here's the special. He eats it. Just like, wow, that was really good. What was it? Those were the bull's testicles.
Oh god.
And the guy's like, you know what? I can dig it.
You know,
Next year he comes back for the but he misses. He gets in late. He isn't able to see it. But he goes back to the same place, and he goes and orders the special. He eats it, and then he makes a comment to the chef, and he says, "Yeah, that was good as always, but it wasn't as big this time. What's up with that?" And the chef just says, "The bull does not always lose."
Fuck yeah.
And that's so yeah. Richard Spencer lost against the bull.
Oh yeah, he did. He definitely lost.
Oh boy, we're at like an hour and 10 minutes.
I will say, it's a good time to pause or stop for this week. So this has been the Black Flame
Streaming for
Vengeance podcast.
Oh my god, that looks like a butt plug.
That's a great waveform.
Yes, it's a waveform that looks like a butt plug, ladies
I
and
am
gentlemen.
Gabe Slaughter, here with
Niklas Antichrist!
and
The Naterix!
and we will be back next week, next Tuesday, hopefully.
With
At
more
some point.
stupidity! And maybe I'll actually have something to drink
And
this time.
tomorrow we're seeing the fucking Decibel Tour.
Go to that shit!
Creator,
Creator,
Obituary, Midnight,
Horrendous,
Blood Incantation!
At least in Denver, we're seeing Blood Incantation.
Go see that shit!
Your local openers may be different, but the show will not be any less fucking awesome! Yeah!
I love you.
This has been the
Screaming for Vengeance podcast,
Episode
presented
3.
by Black Flame Magazine.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, bitches. Later.
Bitches!